Okay, Dipanshu and yeah, Roshan, and there are other 50 plus people here. I can't name them. You guys are able to hear my voice and you can see the screen. Just type yes, Y. You can type the alphabet Y. Please note, guys, in the interim, I am seeing your chat box. I'll be asking you to reply in a small alphabet yes, no, like that. Y for yes and no for N. Okay. So first and foremost, thank you for joining in early. Firstly, can you please tell me whether you can hear me? Yeah. Okay, my voice is little low. Fine, thank you, Dipanshu. Yeah, now I trust is this okay? You know, with lot of connectivity and other issues, this is becoming major issue. Now, can you hear me? Just type Y. Yeah, Roshan and Dipanshu, just type Y. The other people here are able to hear me. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Roshan. So, okay, so now without wasting much time, we will go start up for the session. So first and foremost, thank you and welcome for coming in and joining in on Saturday morning. Uh, I know it's tough thing to come and join on a Saturday morning. You know, you guys would have had personal and professional commitments, but I promise you that, you know, before you go out of this session, you'll definitely have two important things which you'll learn. How many things? Two things. Now, the first thing is this, that you'll definitely learn whether or not you have an MSME business. You'll learn certain principles of MSME which you can apply in business. Number one. That means there are so many benefits which the government has given. So if you're an MSME, good, you'll learn at least one benefit which you can utilize either now or in future. If you're an MSME, and even if you're not MSME, there is something which I'll explain you, which is which you can avail. Second important point is that, you know, you will also know that specifically in your business environment, whatever you're doing, whether in practice or whether you are having a manufacturing entity, it does not matter which sector you are, except for trading. There are a lot of MSME benefits which you can avail. Okay, so number one, if you're not availed and not registered, you can learn that how to register and how to avail the benefits. Number two, even if you're registered, still there may be certain things which you have not explored. And I'm telling you, it is not only MSME, there are a lot of Nirbhar schemes which, subject to conditions, you can avail it. Okay, so two things. Number one, you learn something new about MSME benefits which you may avail. Second, you'll also learn, if you're an existing MSME, that what are the other schemes which the government has given for benefit of the businesses. Okay. Now, even if you're in practice, as I said, you can utilize this for your clients. This is a very, very big practice. Of course, there are a lot of industries and manufacturing and consultants who are doing this one. Okay, friends. So before we start, I would like to tell something about myself. My name is Sachin Grove. I'm an author of upcoming book called Wealth Sutra. You can see it on the screen. Wealth Sutra is a book where, you know, I help corporates, business, and individuals how to generate cash flow, profit, and net worth. In simple words, I help them to generate wealth. Please note, I'm a CA with almost 18 years of experience in finance, and I have been helping and working with business both in tax, economic, and other packages to help them out to generate cash flow, net worth, and profits. Number two, I'm also, you can see, internationally certified trainer. You can see down, this is Mr. Blair Singer. He is Robert Kiyosaki, is one of the trainers of Rich Dad Advisors. The next gentleman you will not afford to miss, and you guys will know, he is author of Chicken Soup, Jack Canfield. I had a personal opportunity to work with him in terms of certain training background. Next, I have personal branding coach who is from Bangalore. Then also I worked as a, you know, work means I have supported in terms of the back-end trainings for certain other businesses, which is Success Resource, which is the India's largest training, I can say, organization. Next, Sunil is one of my mind map teachers. There are other mind map teachers also, like Pawan Button. You will see some of the mind map explanations here. And next I have Tony Robbins, the only Tony Robbins coach in India, who is Amandeep Thind. He's from Punjab and he's now in UK, London, working with Tony Robbins. So guys, three aspects you have to learn. Three aspects which I'm bringing on the table is: number one, I'm a CA with 18 years of experience in tax, economic packages, and other fundamental packages which can help businesses to generate cash flow, net worth, and profit. Second, as I said, I'm working with certain businesses live, which, you know, I help them to generate cash flow, net worth, and profit, and it includes both individual and business. And the third point, as I said, I am internationally certified with all this. All this training have come at a lot of cost, and also almost rigorous trainings of 3 to 5 years, which, you know, you'll understand as and when I'm training, coaching, and explaining you things here. So friends, are you ready? We'll just start off with this. Okay. Now, today, before we start a session, I'll explain you in very simple words that, you know, MSME has been a recent trend. Obviously, the act was set up. I mean, the main setup of MSME was in 2006, which is almost, I think, 15, 20 years back. Now, because of COVID and other reasons, the government has been revamping it. So in today's session, we will detailedly cover that what is MSME, when it can be floated, who can float this, how advantages we can take, and what is the current status quo. So friends, it is going to be a very detailed session. Please note, along with MSME, I'll also be covering certain other additional economic packages which are available. Because of paucity of time, I can't cover full, but I'll try to cover maximum. Okay. Now, in between, if you have any doubt, just hold on and note that, keep the doubt in the end. As I said, we are going to have an FAQ session. I'll allow each of you to talk, and even there is another group of 40, 50 people here whom I'll allow to talk. Okay. So the idea is hold on to your FAQ. In between, if it is a small FAQ, I'll answer depending upon time. Otherwise, we will proceed for in the last FAQ, which is a interactive session. Okay. So here, friends, we are going to begin now. Before I start, I would like to tell something about Collab. You can see two logos here in the PPTs, Collab and Wealth Sutra. Basically, Collab is basically a company where, I am helping them for coaching, training, and consulting. Again, in the field of finance only. Please note, my passion and purpose is finance. That means I want to die on the stage teaching financial literacy. By the way, I'm based in Bangalore. I know 7 languages. Okay, and I'm also a Maharashtrian who settled in Bangalore from almost birth. Okay, now what is that we do for businesses? This is what I presented. Please note, we help businesses to generate cash flow, net worth, and profit. I only talk about that. I do not talk about any other thing, like, I help them to build teams and all that. All that is part and parcel of our sessions, which you'll know in the end of the session. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is I help and I work with individuals just to understand what is their financial position and align whether there are any economic packages, tax packages, any subsidy schemes, or any other thing which is relevant to the industry or the person, depending upon his nature of work and business. And then, we align the economic packages, we align the audit and other control mechanisms to ensure that I help them to generate cash flow, net worth, and profit. Now, these are some of the clients, these are some of the people whom we have helped. This is a builder whom we helped to make a sale of $1 million. Then we also I have done a lot of internal trainings in terms of finance planning and others for some of the companies like Indus Towers, Oracle, etc., etc. So what I do is, depending upon the requirement, I go and teach either the management or go and teach the people who are employees as to how to do their financial plan, and also for the business how to look out the loopholes which are there to generate cash flow and profit. Okay, now we have a team, and also there are the Wealth Sutra is, by the way, applied trademark. There are a lot of my YouTube videos. You can see these are on MSME packages, tax packages, on recent updates in the budget, etc., etc. Fine. Now, these are some of the testimonials. Why am I showing you all this is just to make you understand that what exactly we do. Now, these are some of the testimonials. You can see Indus Towers. This is a company which recently, I think, Airtel merged with some other company, where we did a training for financial planning for the individuals. By the way, guys, I also want to inform I have done my NLP certification. Okay, number 2, I am pursuing my CFP and Chartered Financial Planning. Chartered Wealth Management. Chartered Financial Planning also I'm pursuing. So this helps me to train and this helps me to help business and individuals to generate cash flow and wealth. Okay. Next, we also have a classic case where I helped the rice mill. We helped the rice mill to generate and sell their entire business for $1 million, which is 7.5 crores. Now, these are all the things which are there in the testimonial. The team comprises of myself and also one of my colleagues who is part of Collab. His name is Jay. Jay is a person who has never worked in any company. And please note that he sold his business. There was a fishery business, seafood business which he had started. He sold this business for some undisclosed amount to Big Basket. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is we bring on the table a tremendous experience of business training and also the live knowledge which we have with working for business. This is the testimonial which I said, where we helped the company to sell themselves at $1 million. Now let us get into MSME. Now, before starting into MSME, guys, I would like you to just inform you that today's mindset. Okay, today the way COVID is going, a lot of people are having a negative mindset, or rather they are depressed, or rather they are not having a good what I can say fitness positive regime. Now I agree with you that the COVID is a situation, but it is very important for us to bounce back and also rethink and re-innovate us. Now, how do we do this? I'll just explain you here. There is something called as metamorphosis. I know that I might be going a little fast. But these are some basic points which we'll cover, and then in the MSME I'll go in detail. Now here you can see that there is a metamorphosis. One of my coaches with whom I learned, he told that, look, Sachin, we are going through a metamorphosis. What do you mean by metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is a process where a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. Now this is very painful. It takes a lot of time. It goes through a lot of processes. But what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that specifically the time for change has come. So friends, today before starting the session, I would like you to tell that you need to change, you need to, or rather we all need to change our mindset and accept that COVID is as is. Accepting COVID as is, you need to evaluate what you have to do, what is in your control, so that we prosper both financially and non-financially. So first is what I'm saying is it is time for new leadership. Second, I'm telling you that it's time for the men to separate from the boys. Third, we need to start doing new things. And finally, we need to change ourselves. Now, why am I telling again and again this? Please note, in the COVID environment, I'm going to tell you that it is going to be very tough to do business, or rather, build your wealth. But at the same time, unless and until if you don't innovate and you don't have a new thought process and you don't take leadership, it is very difficult to generate wealth. Okay. Now, that is where I'm saying that in today's environment, you need to have a accepting mindset. You need to have emotional intelligent mindset. Very important. You can hear a lot of suicide cases. One of the reasons for these is they don't have emotional intelligence, or rather it's very low. Next, you need to have an innovative mindset. You need to have a planning and winning mindset as against rejecting, emotional, complaining, panicking, and losing. Now, I am trying to tell you this because first and foremost, you need to be clear that unless and until we have a positive mindset in COVID, it is not going to work out. Now, why am I telling you all this? Even in the planning process of planning wealth, which I'll explain you through one of the mechanisms which MSME is, it is very necessary that as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as an employee, as a small businessman, today COVID is going to be here, in my opinion, at least for a year or 2 years till the vaccine is discovered. Because even if vaccine is discovered, the transition period may take 6 months to a year across the world, I think. Now, also I have told in my earlier sessions that, I am already expecting that, there will be a recession or depression, which is anyway happening across the globe. So as you know, in 98 we had, in 2018 we had, this year or next year, I don't know, it will come. Already it has come in some countries. Why am I telling you this? COVID was just a spark for, the stock market and the entire economy to crash. So just like how I told you in earlier webinars, every 10 years, there will be a crash. Even now I'm expecting, I don't know when it will be or what will trigger, but COVID was one of the sparks for the fall in the economic markets in the world. Okay. Now, having changed our mindset, or rather at least developed our mindset, what is the ecosystem of COVID, which we need to understand? Why am I explaining you this? I'm explaining you this because a lot of people are complaining, why is this like this? What is happening? So here are some of the reasons which, I have given that how COVID has changed the current business and ecosystem. One, there is natural demand shortage. What do you mean by natural demand shortage? Consciously, people are not buying goods and services. Again, I'll repeat, people are consciously not buying goods and services. They are deferring it. So what should you know? You should know that what are the essential goods and services which businesses or individuals are buying, and we need to focus on that. Now, am I discouraging not you to do other things? Of course I am, but I'm telling you that people are consciously deferring their decisions. I'll give an example. You know that schools are not working, colleges are not working. What is happening? The study material to some extent is given online, but their uniforms, their books, in some cases, their shoes, socks, all this benefit, all this economy is getting deferred. Now, why am I telling you this? To understand that there is a natural demand shortage, which never in history we have seen unless there is a depression. Next, there is huge liquidity issue. So what do you mean by liquidity issue? People don't have cash. One of the reasons is because there is no circulation of money, because businesses are consciously not for functioning due to lockdown and other things. Next, there is a change in ecosystem. What do you mean by ecosystem? See, today the way we do business is changing. Although Swiggy and so many other online guys came, they were also hampered. They were also affected because of this. So it is not only that people who have brick and mortar stores or people who are online delivery. Everybody is affected. So there is a change in the entire ecosystem itself for doing business or providing goods and services. Next, it is a nature's warning. I believe strongly that nature is warning us because of global temperature and all that you guys are not doing a good job. So this is one more reason. So it is an indication for us that we should not hamper nature, or we should take care of her in a better way, so that these things don't come back. Next, technological changes. I need not tell you the way Zoom, Geo, the way other, what do you say, Udemy and other online classes and online technology, MS Teams, people have started using Zoom, people have started using. So all this is going to be a game changer. In fact, I feel, that several IT companies have scaled down and they have told that they'll work from home. So it is going to be a boost in the internet businesses. Plus also there will be work from home, a lot of things. So what I'm trying to tell is technology is going to play a major role, which you need to keep in mind while doing your business or selling your goods and services. Next, lifestyle and expectations. This is something which is a major change in our today's scenario. Please note, people, especially in India, now have come to a conclusion that, or at least maximum of them, that look, a lot of things can be done sitting in home, and it is not necessary for me to go out. So what they are doing is the way they are buying goods and services, their lifestyle, for example, going to parks, malls, all that, that will come back. I'm not telling no, but at least say around 30 or 40% of the population will feel that from going forward, I need not go out. I can do everything here. There is Netflix, Amazon, so many other booms which are happening now. So this is very important point for us to understand that lifestyle and the way people will expect from businesses will be different. Finally, innovation, the only thing which is going to save us is innovation. In other words, until and unless we are in any business or any, let's say, job or whatever, unless you're not going to innovate new things, add value to the customers or to your employer or employee, whatever it is not going to have a sustainability. So guys, can you just type why, if you agree with me, the COVID ecosystem which has created, just type why, Roshan, Deepan, Anil, etc. Just type why. The reason why I am telling you this is that, before we start about the packages, you need to know that number one, we need to understand a new mechanism, a new mechanism to develop. And number two, it is very important that you accept this ecosystem. Please understand, again, I am telling you, COVID was just a game changer or spark, but you need to understand that this is an ecosystem change. Once we know that there is an ecosystem change, only then you will be able to adopt and proceed. So this is environment where I say that you need to adapt and go ahead. Okay. Thank you, Dipanshu. Close the door. Thank you, Dipanshu, and thank you. Now, friends, I'll get into the scheme. Okay. Now, as you know that the government has had announced the Atmanirbhar scheme. What is Atmanirbhar scheme? Please note, I'll not go in detail, but at a macro level, restricting myself to MSME, I'll tell. Please note, the government has announced the MSME scheme, Atmanirbhar scheme, which is 20 lakh crore. Now, in this 20 lakh crore, what you have to understand is close to 8 lakh crore is related to RBI and its measure. That means 12 lakh crore is at our disposal. Now the question is, how much in this 12 lakh crore is the government going to give it to us for MSME? If you see, there is an emergency loan. In other words, I will explain about it in detail. Don't worry. There are 2 or 3 major schemes and major regeneration which has happened in MSME. I'll explain you through that in detail. Don't worry. Just understand at macro level. 3 lakh crore is a loan which the government is going to give for clean MSME and clean businesses. What are these clean MSME and clean businesses? I'll explain you. I know a few people of you, like maybe Roshan and other people, are in practice. Otherwise, please note, you can start educating your clients also on MSME, because this is going to be a game changer, at least in India, going forward. Okay. So firstly, the government is giving 3 lakh crore worth of open loan to healthy MSMEs and healthy businesses. That means if you have a business loan as on a particular date, which I'll explain you, the government is selling up to 3 lakh crore. Based on your limits, they will give the loan. This is one. The second important thing is the government has announced 20,000 crore subordinate MSME debt. Don't bother about terminology. It is basically NPA MSME debt. Again, I'll repeat. It's a loan for NPA, which is an MSME NPA. Okay, that means who landed in who landed in NPA, which are MSMEs. Now, to be very precise, what is it, how it is, I'll explain you in detail. Finally, there is a 50,000 crore, which is equity funding scheme. This, to the best of my knowledge, at least till yesterday, I'm not sure whether it has been notified. The first 2 schemes have been notified, and which I'll be explaining you in detail. Okay. Apart from this, please note there are numerous measures. I don't want to go into that. Today's session, we will cover about the new changes in June 2020 notification, which I have covered, and these particular 2 schemes, which I'll take you in detail. Please note, even if you are practicing persons, it will be really helpful, because you can help the businesses to fund or help them to achieve certain benefits, which I'll explain you. Now, before we go in detail, you know that there is an RBI Monitoring which has been announced. This I'll immediately tell, because a lot of people are, even last time they said, please explain to us about the RBI whatever monitoring. So friends, as you know, RBI Monitoring was introduced purely to provide liquidity and scalability to businesses. Now, this is where it is lying. Number one, this moratorium has been extended till August 31st. That means whether you have a business loan EMI or whether you have a car loan EMI or even with credit card due, you are given an opportunity to defer that EMI till August. And then please note, friends, with interest, you need to pay the EMI in September 2020. So again, I'll clarify that the RBI in 22nd May has announced this scheme wherein you can defer your EMIs till August, and then in September you need to pay with interest. Okay, number one. Number two, what the government has done is for the exporters and importers, and don't worry about the slide because I already have that in my mind. I'm going a little fast so that I cover a lot of things. For exporters and importers, what the government has done is they have given their certain deferral scheme for the purpose of receiving payment by 6 months or making the payment to the outside import selling vendor. In other words, what the government has done, both for importer and exporter, they have given certain time to get the money into India beyond certain period. Like here you can see 15 months, and for a importer, they have given time to make the payment by 12 months. Now, why has RBI done this? As I said again, for the purpose of liquidity. Other than this, what the government has also given an opportunity is, if you have your existing interest, you can convert that into loan. That means the government is saying that, okay, fine, you have some interest. What I can do to you is convert your interest into a loan. So a lot of people, as I said, apart from paying EMI, if they feel that no, I will only pay the principal and the interest I want to convert into loan, you can do. Please note, for all these things, you need to talk to your personal bank, whichever it is, of personal or business or personal bank, and find out from them these are the schemes which are available. In fact, there is my earlier video also. You can go through the video to understand that also. Okay. So finally, there is also a liquidity scheme for the group which the government has enhanced from 25 to 30. So say, for example, I'll give a very simple example. Say if Tata Group has some outstanding loan and they as a group want to extend more, then they can approach the bank. Again, I'm repeating, this is subject to the terms and conditions of the bank, and this is subject to your liquidity position, your cash flow, etc., etc. So when you talk to the banks with all these schemes, obviously they look at your financial health, they will look at your all specific health of the balance sheet, and only then they are going to give you the benefit. So friends, this is what is in terms of the RBI monitoring. Now I am going to take you specifically into the next aspect of the MSME. Now, before we go into the MSME schemes, you know that June 26, 2020, the government has notified that with effect from 1st July 2020, the MSMEs have to get a new registration done. This is called as UDM registration. Okay. Now, what is UDM registration? Don't bother about the mind map here. I'll explain you. Here, basically, I'm telling you that the government is telling that what is the benefit of getting registered under the please, as I said very specifically, the government is now going to be tell you that all this registration will be UDM registration. Now, what are the benefits for this? As I said, before going into detail in the scheme, if you are an MSME and what is an MSME, how to register, all that I'll explain you. Don't bother. Time being, you understand that what are the benefits if you are an MSME. Number one, you get protection for delayed payment. Please note the government has said that under the scheme, which is MSME Act 2006, they have said very clearly that if at all if there is a payment delay to an MSME beyond 45 days, then the defaulter is required to pay interest. Okay, number one. Number two, as an MSME, you'll get collateral loan. I hope you can see here, I'm going on the right hand side. Next, there are a lot of regulated policies. What I can say, you reservation in terms of certain manufacturing and production sector. You'll get benefit in this also in terms of what sector you are. Okay. Next, very easily you'll get license and approvals. Of course, sometime they may get delayed because of the procedural aspects, but as an MSME, you'll be given a preference. Next, there is stamp duty and registration fees in certain cases. Again, I don't want to go in detail because it's a very big subject. There are certain exemptions, or rather I can say concessions under direct tax, but again, this depends on the turnover, it depends on the your income, etc. So I don't want to go in detail. Please understand there are certain tax concession both for MSME as well as non-MSME. Here specifically it is mentioned considering the MSME benefit which you are outlining. You will also be able to get subsidies from NSIC and certain other agencies. Next, you are eligible for IPS subsidy. That means what happens is when you take certain intellectual property rights and all that, you are given certain subsidy in terms of the costs. Finally, there is exemption again under direct tax law. So there is tax concession and also there is certain waive off. Like for example, you need not, you have to pay lower interest if you're default, if you're delaying the payment of TDS. Apart from that, there is 50% subsidy on CLSS, that is a loan scheme. Reimbursement of ISO certification. So if you get an ISO registration, there is a reimbursement of the fees for that. Also, there is excise. This is a old exemption, but please note, although still excise is wiped out, there are certain state levies in terms of excise which are levied on them. Then there is octroi benefits. Apart from that, there are 50% patent registration benefit. So please note that ISO, patent, IPS, in some cases where you're registering, there are cost concession, registration concession for you guys. Apart from that, there is OD exemption interest. Again, this is case to case basis. Please don't think that this is across the board. Okay. Apart from that, there are electricity concession. For example, one of the persons in Rajasthan, we got them almost 5 lakh benefit in this. Okay, that is also specifically there. Waiver of security government deposit, in some cases it is there depending upon the conditions. So what I'm trying to tell you, friends, is that these are all the benefits in terms of registering as a MSME. Now, apart from this, I have given in my way the explanation as to why you should go for MSME. See, first and foremost, they have given an expanded definition of MSME, 1, 5, 10, what is the turnover, etc. I'll explain you. Next, loan buckets are extended for MSME. As I told, if you are a stressed NPA MSME, then you are eligible for the 20,000 crore loan subject to certain cap, which I'll explain you. Number two, wherever there is a clean loan from MSME or a business loan, 3 lakh crore up to 3 lakh crore loan you may get, but there is subject to your limit, which I'll explain. Third particular thing is that, I have interacted with the commissioner last week, on MSME in Bangalore, and they also said that, certain additional schemes also will come up for providing funding to the MSMEs. Next, NPA scheme, I already told you that, which I'll explain you in breather, 20,000 crore loan. Apart from this, the government has notified that, the MSME can participate in fresh tenders up to 200 crores. So what had happened, earlier there was certain restriction, but now in government project itself, you'll be able to get the whatever, you will be eligible to bid for the project, and if it is successful, you will get. Next, what the government is also going to do is that, they are going to give certain e-savvy platform for you. Please note the new registration website portal is already out. I'll explain about that in the next 2-3 slides, don't worry. But what I'm trying to tell is the government is trying to integrate your subsidy, your loan, then your labor training packages, all that will be on one particular platform based on one registration, which is UDM registration, which is like an Aadhaar card. About that, again, I'll tell you in detail. Just hold on for some minute. Apart from that, the government is going to give you certain benefits if you're an MSME, if you want to travel abroad and display your products. Look, one thing is very clear. What the government is saying is businesses which are less than 250 crore turnover, which I'll explain you, which are falling under MSME, the government is taking specific interest because they are the backbone of the industry, backbone of the economy. And the government is supporting to them in terms of capital, in terms of protection of their patent, etc., in terms of protection of their interest of payment, and finally also about their existence itself. Okay. Now, next, let us go. What is the other thing? 45 days credit. I already told you that if anybody defaults in terms of MSME payment beyond 45 days, then they have full right to go for a case and they'll get compounded interest. So what I'm telling is, if I default, they can go against me and file a case, and I have to pay compound interest. But again, in business interest, it depends as to whether we want to take that route. The next announcement which the government has done for MSME is they have told that all the government sector enterprises like railways, roadways, NHIA, all these people had not paid a lot of dues to MSME. So the government has specifically notified telling that within 45 days, a month or 2 months back when they had announced this, within 45 days, this public sector undertakings and public institutions, by whatever name you call, they need to give back this money. They need to make the payment to the MSME. Also, PF deferral was allowed and is allowed for not only MSME, other people, that you can delay your payment of PF, whether it is employer-employee contribution, and after a certain period you can pay that a month or two. I don't want to go in detail. That's basically to give you liquidity. Tax measures I will cover in separate slide. Don't bother about it. In tax measures, what you need to understand is whether you're MSME or otherwise, but for MSME it is specific because of turnover. They have given concession in deferring your returns, deferring your tax payment without interest, with interest in some cases, deferring your all compliances. If you are RERA, under RERA there are certain compliances required, that also they have given time. Okay, finally RBI measures I have already given. So guys, what I'm telling you in a nutshell, in terms of the loan buckets, there are new loan buckets available. In terms of payment protection, the government has given this. You are allowed to come and what do you call, bid in 200 crore up to 200 crore projects. Next, the government has told to clear the payments for MSMEs within 45 days. And there are tax, RBI and PF and labor law related benefits. Okay. Now, as I said, because of time paucity, I can't go in detail. I'll only be covering certain basic aspects which are available. Now, this is same. Okay. Now let's get into the definition of MSME. Please note, this is a notification in June 2020, which the government had announced. Don't break head. Please remember, from July 1st, 2020, the government has amended the definition. Number one, whether you're a new enterprise or old enterprise, don't bother. Even if you're an old enterprise, which is old MSME registered, you need to go to the portal and get registered. How, when, where, what, I'll explain you. Just stay with me. So first and foremost thing, the definition of an MSME is based on two criteria: turnover and investment. What do you mean by turnover? Turnover is the sales which are generated in the latest audited financial statement. So you need to take what is your turnover, and please note the turnover here is defined under this notification telling whatever you declare in GST and income tax return. So bottom line, you need to see that as of March 2020, if it is audited, fine. If it is not audited, you need to file a provisional statement. Again, I'll repeat. If you have an audited statement, you need to see the turnover, both as per the audited statement and your GST return and your ITR return which you have filed, and see what is the turnover. Number two, the criteria is the investment. Investment is basically your investment in plant and machinery. There are certain exceptions for that, like your lab equipment and pollution control equipment. Mainly, the investment here is plant and machinery, which is defined under section 43 of the Income Tax Act. So please note, for both these definitions, income tax, your return and your audited statements and your GST return plays a very, very, very important role. So there may be two cases. If you file your ITR along with your audited statements, you need to refer for your turnover and plan and investment that particular balance sheet and ITR. Or if you're not filed or you're not at all required to file, in that case, you are required to make a provisional statement to the government, that is MSME portal, telling this much is my turnover or this much is my investment which I've made it in the latest financial year. Okay. So again, I'll repeat, turnover, for the purpose of turnover, you need to take the latest income tax return which you have filed, or the audited statements based on that, whatever it is, and your GST return. Or in context, if you're not filed or if you're not what you required to file, make a provision statement and upload. Please note, the government will come back after you upload. They will come back to interact with you. This is on turnover. Second, on investment, it is very clear. You need to take plant and machinery only. Please note, plant and machinery only includes your regular computers, plant and machinery, which is defined under section 43. Now, what is the criteria limit? The criteria limit I have given in the next slide. Okay. This was old one. This is not relevant for us. Please note, this is only relevant for us. Now, I'll give a very simple formula which I have developed. This formula is called 1-10-50. Now, guys, before I go, Purushottam Adiga has also joined. Good, Adiga. So can you just, guys, tell if I'm fast, shall I slow down? Or you're okay? Just type okay if you're okay with my speed. Or if you want me to go down slow, just type slow. Please tell me if I'm okay, because I will be going little fast now because there is a lot of, okay. Thank you, Roshan. Yeah, thanks, guys. So I'll go ahead with the regular speed, what I'm doing. Please note, guys, there are a lot of contents which I cover. The only point here, what I'm telling is in this short span of 90 minutes, I need to cover and give whatever maximum is required. Okay. Now let's come to the criteria of the turnover. Just remember these three figures, friends: 1, 10, 50. Okay. Again, I'll repeat. Just remember these three numbers: 1, 10, 50. That's how I remember. Okay. So what you need to know is, if your investment in plant and machinery is 1 crore, multiplied by 5, it is 5 crores. In that case, you'll be a micro enterprise. Okay. Again, I'll repeat. Remember 1, 10, 50. That's more than enough. And then you multiply that with 5. So you'll get, if you are having a 1 crore turnover, 1 crore plant and machinery investment, then if you multiply by 5, it will be 5 crore turnover. So if you have a 5 crore turnover and 1 crore plant and machinery investment in the previous year, then you will become a micro enterprise. Now, some people tell me that, sir, whether it is or and, again, I'm repeating, I'm folding hands and telling you, This is a composite condition. Composite means together. So you need to see that it is a and, it is not an or. So second criteria is small if you are having an investment in plant and machinery of 10 crore and 50 crores is your turnover. Finally, you will become medium if you are having a investment of 50 crores and turnover of 250 crores. Okay. So guys, after you understood what is turnover, which is as per the GST return and your IT return and your latest auditor statement and your investment in plant and machinery, which comprise only of plant and machinery, there are one or two exceptions I'll give you, don't bother. You need to see that whether you're meeting this criteria. Okay. Now, again, I'm repeating, whether you're old or new, it doesn't matter. Go to the UDM portal and I'll show you there's a flow chart also as to how it has to be done. Okay. Now I hope till here it is clear. Okay. Let us know how do we register under UDM portal. Now, one thing I want you to understand, guys, is that UDM portal is a new portal which the government has launched. Whether you are old MSME or new, you need to register. Now, what are all is required for this? You are required to have your Aadhaar and PAN. There is a detailed flow chart. Again, I'll explain you in this. But just note here, you need to have your Aadhaar and PAN, either of the representative, like if you're a partner, a one relevant partner, or the person who is authorized by the company through a board resolution. Okay. Next, you will be getting a UDM registered certificate. Please note what the government has done now is like this. You are going to get a something like Aadhaar card, I can tell you, which is valid across India. So this UDM registration certificate will have a whatever registration number, which will be used for all your MSME references. And that is something like your Aadhaar card or PAN card number. Okay. So remember, this is a very game changer point which the government has brought in. People will get registered under UDM as MSME, and then all over India, or even when you are doing transactions abroad, this number is required to be quoted. Okay. One more thing was the government has done in the new portal is beautiful is that they are trying to integrate all the schemes. So whether it is your loan subsidy or your let's say industry subsidy or your training program with any MSME institute, everything will be through a single window portal, through a single what I can say platform, which is udyam.gov.in. Whatever the thing is there. Don't worry about this. I had copied this free back when notified. Again, they have been changing. I'll give the latest one also. So bottom line, what I'm telling, just type UDYAM and register there if you are required to register, subject to the benefits which you want to avail. As I said, this is going to get integrated website with your loan, with your subsidy schemes and others. And one more important thing, whether, as you know, MSME schemes are provided by central and state government, both the schemes are whatever, both the packages, both the inputs will be given on the same portal. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, these are all things I have explained you. Now I told you that there are certain exceptions for plant and machinery. Please see this. What is excluded in plant and machinery is your land and building and furniture and fittings. So for the definition of plant and machinery, again, what is the number? Can I get the number, guys? Just tell me what is the number? 11050, guys. Please type it 11050. Please note this will help you to remember in your whether you're practicing or whether you're wanting to use it for any of your industry or your friend's industry, whatever. 11050 is the criteria. Yeah, good, Roshan. So that will be helpful for you. Okay, again, I'll go back. Remember this slide, friends. A lot of people get confused. What is a turnover? 11050 you remember, and you are through with that. Okay, and by the way, this is a investment in the P&M. Now, what is excluded, as I told you, this is the item which is excluded. Land and building and furniture and fitting are excluded. Plus, when you calculate the plant and machinery, the cost of the PCB, you can see this thing, pollution control equipment, R&D and industrial safety devices are excluded. So again, I'll repeat, when you calculate the limit of 11050, depending upon whatever item you take, exclude the cost of plant and machinery, land and building, exclude the cost of land and building, furniture and fitting, and also, pollution control related equipment, R&D expenses and R&D development expenses and your industrial safety devices. Now, this is a very, very simple thing which they are notified in 2006. This remains unchanged. Okay. One more very important criteria is that, you need to exclude the export turnover when you're calculating the turnover. That's why I said in the beginning to you that, I will be explaining you one by one. Don't hurry. So bottom line, for your plant and for your turnover, take the ITR, take the whatever latest audited statement, calculate the turnover. If you don't have that, give a declaration and later you can regularize. Number two, for P&M, 11050 rule into 5, you'll get the turnover, blah, 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 whatever I explained you, and exclude the land and building, furniture and fitting, and exclude the research and development cost and whatever I've given you PCB cost. Please note this is defined. There should not be any ambiguity. Also, people are asking me whether it should be excluding GST or including GST. It is very simple. If you're obviously taking credit, the section 43 of the Income Tax Act says net of subsidies, you have to take net of whatever GST. If it is a cost, you have to take GST. My suggestion, whatever it is, take the help of a CA, or you can even consult us. Okay, export turnover is excluded in the turnover. And friends, this is the most important point, which till now, don't mistake me, I'm using the word, this was used by many entities to register their MSMEs. Today, the government is saying that with single PAN, you may have multiple GST, but the turnover of the entire entity will be concerned. So I'll give an example. There is one business whom we are working with. I know they have 16 registrations, but with same PAN. Now the problem now the government has clarified in this notification is that they have said if you have a single PAN, the single PAN's turnover will be taken for the criteria of the MSME. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is going to be little tricky. As I said, I really don't know whether because of this amendment, and there is a specific clause in the section which will have an impact that a lot of entities will come out of the MSME, meaning because of the definition. Okay, I hope till it is clear. Now I'll get into the mind map description. What is mind map? Please note, friends, that I use mind map a lot for a lot of my presentations so that understanding is easy. This is a mind map on UDM registration. As I said, the portal is going on developing, so I have included whatever developments have come in the current presentation. Please note this, what I'm presenting 4-5 slides was not there in my earlier presentation. Now it is there. Okay, so number one, again I'll reiterate, some of the points may be repeated, don't bother. UDM registration is number one, non-renewal. That means it's a one-time registration. I told you that every person, whether you're old MSME or new, you need to register. Okay, now it is a non-renewal requirement. Number two, it's a free registration. I'm sorry, this I forgot to tell you. Please note that a lot of people are confused as to whether it is paid. It's absolutely free. Next, you will get a certificate, I told you. Also, I said that there will be a single windows clearance scheme and QR code. This is very important, which I forgot. Please note, after you get your certificate, everywhere you can use the QR code, which will automatically display your registration certificate. As you are aware that that the government is going towards the what I can say digitalization all over world, all over India. Therefore, these mechanisms are being coming in. Also, this is a permanent one-time registration number, standard universal. That is why I told you this is akin to what? PAN and Aadhaar card number. Okay. Now this I have explained you. I need not go through in this. Now this is process for registration. Just give me a minute. I'll just hide your windows. Yeah. So now, friends, again I'm going to go in detail in the MSME registration process on the portal. Some of you may know, some of you may be a little confused. Please note it is a new website. Obviously, it is giving certain time. Some people have understood that they have not yet received their registration certificate, but obviously it's a new baby, so it will take some time. So firstly, without wasting time, you need to have a PAN which is GST linked to get registered. And as I said, the investment and turnover, please note the government is going to automatically pick it up from the GST and your PAN card. Okay, so be very careful when you declare whatever you're declaring. Then you don't require any uploading of documents because it's PAN and Aadhaar based. Now with effect from 21, the government is going to make it mandatory for PAN and GST. Okay, because till now they are giving you concession. 1 year they are going to give you concession. Also, as I said, if you have even multiple verticals of business, you can register it under one. The type of entities, again, I don't want to go in detail, is whether you're a company, LLP, cooperative society, trust, it doesn't matter. You need to have your PAN and GST registration and also the authorized person name so that you can register through him, using his name. Also, there is a penalty if you do misrepresentation. I don't want to go into all the details. Further, this is a paperless registration. As I said, mandatory Aadhaar. If there is no Aadhaar, then there is no registration. As I said, authorized person Aadhaar may be required once you are going to register with the requisite partner of the LLP or trust or karta of the HUF or whatever. Okay. Finally, this certain category of people like EM2 or UM who are already registered, please not need to re-register themselves. And by the way, friends, I told you that this portal, when you register with MSME, will automatically get integrated with your GST and IT. Okay. In fact, I'm telling you, income tax this year, they are going to disclose in your 26 years the shares also and MSME benefits also. So please be very careful. When I say careful, you need to have authenticity of information when you are filing all these things. Okay. Finally, as I said, this will be a what I can say, one-time registration, permanent integrated registration. So this is what it is. I hope this is clear. Can you just type clear? As I said in the beginning of the session, please note in the end I'll take the FAQ, and also there are a lot of subsidy schemes which we can discuss, but considering the time of 90 minutes which I need to be clear. Thank you, Roshan. Okay, now next let us move to just a second. Yeah, now for existing enterprise, I don't want to go in detail. As I said, you need to register. Please note that there is one point which anyway I'll explain you. Yeah, for existing enterprises, whether it is UAM part 2, whatever you call, you need to get it registered ASAP. Okay. Now, also what you need to understand is this registration of existing enterprises will be valid till March 21. Why I am telling you? Because the government has redefined the definition and certain criteria. By the way, one thing which I missed out, I'm sorry, during the MSME registration is for trading enterprise, you cannot register MSME. Again, I'll repeat, trading enterprises cannot register under MSME. Now you may wonder why. Please note, I don't want to go in detail, but my perspective is that the government wants to help today the manufacturing sector and the small and medium enterprises as against helping purely the traders. That's a policy of the government. We need to live with it. Okay. Now, what does it happen if your turnover criteria changes? Now there are only two aspects. Either your turnover or investment may increase or decrease. Don't worry, you need to register even if your turnover, if you're an existing MSME and the turnover which is defined now and earlier differences, there's a difference. The government in the portal will automatically send you a mail and they'll get connected and clarify to you. So what I'm telling, under the current regulations which I know, even if you are registered, here it is given very clearly. I'll just read out that so that it's easy. Okay, yeah, all will be classified as per notification. Yeah, so I'll just give a brief to it because I have gone through that. If your turnover and anything exceeds the previous limit, so earlier you were in lower limit and now you are exceeded, then automatically in the new category you'll fall. Okay, but on the other hand, if you're decreased, again I'll repeat, but on the other hand, if your turnover or whatever is decreased, then you will remain in this category till March 21, and then based on interaction of the government, they'll tell you that whether you're eligible for the scheme or no. Again I'll repeat, existing enterprises, if your turnover is changed in the last year, if it is higher, any one of the two is higher, then you'll be automatically pushed to the new next level. This is what is given in this notification. Sorry, it's a small notification, you can't see, but what I'm telling you is if your turnover or whatever criteria is used, then the government is saying that registration will be valid till March 21, and after that they will take a call. Okay, because there are certain additional notification expected. Okay, friends, just type clear if you are clear till now on the basic registration of the MSME and the definition. Now we are going into the subsidy schemes. Sorry, I can say loan or subsidy schemes, which I am taking it to the next level. Thank you. Okay. Now there are three schemes which I told you which are announced. Number one is 3 lakh crore worth of clean MSME or clean business loan. I'll talk about that separately. First, let us talk about the stressed MSME NPA, because this is where I'm getting a lot of mails, queries, lot of questions, and people are saying, sir, am I eligible or no? All that I'll cover in detail. So first and foremost, please understand this scheme of 20,000 crore. What is this? The government is saying if because of COVID or otherwise your loan, business loan has become an NPA and it is stressed debt. Okay. I will help you by giving you certain additional loans. So please understand the government subject to certain criteria that you are an NPA MSME and subject to certain limit. They are saying they will give additional loan even if you are a MSME. Okay. Number two is that, let me get into the directly thing. Okay. So this is what? This is under the credit guarantee scheme for subordinate debt. Let's call it as a NPA debt. Okay. I don't want to confuse you, the CGSD and all that, you'll get confused. So please understand NPA subsidy, what I can say, NPA debt, it is for MSME. Why I tell NPA, only those cases which are in NPA are eligible. That is why the government is telling subordinate debt. That means secondary debt. Okay. Now, what are the criteria? Criteria is that, this will be given as an equity to the promoter, and the promoter has to pump this money into the business as either as a loan or a capital. Okay. Again, I'll repeat. This is eligible for stressed MSME and the money will be given to the promoter, who will put this money as there is a certain terminology which I'll show you down, which has to be pumped in by the promoter in the entity. Now, what is the amount which you are eligible? This is very important. The amount which you are eligible is 75 lakhs. Please hear carefully, or 15% of your equity plus debt in the latest audited statement, whichever is lower. So again, I'll repeat, how much will I get, Sachin? You will get either 75 lakhs or 15% of your latest audited latest audited statement, 15% of your equity or debt. So again, I'll be very clear. Whatever is the case, the maximum loan which you may get is 75 lakhs. Okay. So if I am not wrong, if you calculate on 5 crores, that's what I am expecting. If you have a 5 crore capital, which is equity plus debt, 15% on 5 crores is 75. So I personally think that, if either your capital is and debt is up to 5 crore, maximum 75 lakhs only you get. Okay. Next, as I said, how will the promoter pump in? This is what I told you. Promoter will in turn infuse this as an equity and thereby enhance the liquidity, maintaining the debt equity ratio. So I don't want to go in detail, guys. Okay, fine, Dipanshu. I agree. Yeah, okay, fine. I leave it to you. Okay. So point is here that, promoters will have to infuse this. Again, I'm repeating, please talk to your bank, because there are certain RBI and MSME norms as per which they have to complete the documentation and show it as a debt or a quasi debt. So the technical term I don't want to get into. Bottom line, you understand, promoter has to pump this as an equity to maintain the debt equity ratio in the entity. Okay. Now, what is the guarantee? This is a very, very interesting thing. Please note and don't quote me. What I've understood is this 90% of this fund guarantee is given by the specific trust. As I said, the CGSST, there is a specific scheme which will give the guarantee, and 10% will be come from the promoter. That means, touch wood, if there is a failure in loan, okay, repayment and otherwise, then in such case, you will be ensured that 90% will be guaranteed and paid by this scheme, whatever the government 20,000 crore scheme, and the 10% only will be recovered from the promoter. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, as I said, friends, I also have my coaching people here around 50 years separately in the other system. So yeah, this is the same criteria, Elias Tito. Yeah. So, friends, what you have to understand that this particular guarantee point is very important, because a lot of people tell that what if I miss it, what if I default? Then they need to be clear that this is what will happen. They'll first come after promoter. If it is not possible, then 10% they may recover and 90% the scheme will pay. Now, what is the term? This is for a 7-year, tenure. Actually, 7 years you need to pay the principal. Okay. Actually, the overall term loan is 10 years, but what they are saying is you'll be provided 7 years to pay the principal based on the maximum limit. That I'll not get into detail. Bottom line, it's a 10-year loan. Okay. I'll explain you what all details. It is there in the next slide. Don't worry. Next, who are all eligible? This is very, very important. Please note, the RBI has defined that scheduled commercial bank, SCB, scheduled commercial bank only will give the loan. Okay. A lot of people are getting confused. To the best of my knowledge and based on what document I have got, the RBI has defined, I think, part 3, which will come in the next page. They are telling very clearly only scheduled commercial bank can give the loan for a period of 10 years, out of which 7 years is the moratorium. Okay. Next, who are eligible? SMA 2 and NPA accounts as on 30th April, and they should be commercially viable during 18-19 and 19-20. This is where I told you the criteria. Again, I'll repeat, guys. Yeah, Anil, correct. Yeah, same thing. So this, what I'm telling is, your NPA account should be there as on 30th April 2020. And friends, you should show that you're commercially viable during 18-19 and 19-20. Now, why is this government asking? Don't ask me. This is how the scheme has been designed. In the scheme template, this is what detailedly they have given. Okay. Next. Just a second. Yeah. Next, don't worry about the slide, because there is certain this thing. Recovery proceeding, as I said, the bank will recover based on the 90 to 10%. All scheduled commercial banks, as I said, Schedule 2 of the RBI Act, only they are eligible to give. Now, what do you mean by NPA? Again, I'll repeat, this is NPA as per RBI. That's why I told you in the beginning that whatever definition they have given for NPA, plus in the previous slide, I showed you the categories of MSME. They will be eligible for this particular loan. The next point is that, what is the time limit for which I can apply loan? Please note, the time limit to apply loan is before 31st March 2021, which is another say 6 to 9 months. And the whole criteria what the government is telling us, look, I have opened the bucket of 20,000 crore. Either before that exhaust you come, or 31st March is 21 is the last date. That means exhaustion or emptiness of the 20,000 crore in the bucket of the government, or 31st March, whichever is earlier, they are going to close the scheme. Okay. So guys, please remember that as on 30th April, your account should be an NPA account based on the criteria of RBI and whatever MSME rules and regulations. Only then you will be eligible to get up to 75 lakhs of the loan, or 15% of your debt plus equity, whichever is least. Okay. Now, one more important point which people ask me is that, sir, will this be a new account? Yes, this will be a new pure loan account. Another important thing, what is the interest rate? Please note, very simple, guys. Unlike the scheme of 3 lakh crore, which is a clean scheme, here the rate of interest is given as per the RBI norms. The rate, that means, will be decided by the RBI. But in that particular case, that is the 3 lakh crore loan, which is a clean loan as against NPA loan, they have maximum 14% loan if it is a term loan. Otherwise, it's around 9.4% if it's a working capital loan, which I'll explain you, don't worry. But what I wanted to keep in mind is, for NPA stressed loan, which the government is going to give to MSME, it will be purely the rate decided by the RBI. Okay, so they may have their internal whatever criteria for determining the loan. Next, what is the charge? It will have a second charge on the assets. All these are not so relevant. Just remember, also there is a guarantee fees of 1.5% per annum on the outstanding amount. Please note, in the other scheme of 3 lakh crore, which is a clean loan, which I'll explain you, there is no guarantee scheme, the guarantee fees. But in this 1.5% guarantee scheme, guarantee fees is there. Again, as you know that, you will be required to pay to the bank, and then, the bank is required to pay to the CGSC, that scheme, and they will recover from you. So that's fine. Bottom line, this is a non-refundable guarantee fees which you are to give. Okay. And also please note, SCB, the scheduled commercial bank, as I said, only scheduled commercial bank will have the loan, is eligible to give the loan, unless, government has notified additional, which I'm not sure as of now. SCB will have an agreement with the scheme, that is a test scheme. As I said, CGSM scheme, let's not go into detail. That particular scheme, and they will have an individual agreement. That means, guys, each and every bank, depending upon the terms and condition, has to have an independent agreement with the scheme. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Again, I'll reiterate, and then, we will go to the next 3 lakh. There is a lot of other things to be covered, but remember, 75 lakhs are 50% of your debt outstanding as on your latest balance sheet. Number 2, only those which are NPA account as on 30th April. Number 3, interest rate decided by RBI. Number 4, guarantee fees of 1.5% per annum. Number 5, please note, only SCB as of now, the scheduled commercial bank can give the loan. Okay. And also other things are clear. I don't want to go in detail. 90%, 10% guarantee also I explained you. So is it clear, this one? Or if you have any doubt, you can ask me, because, then the next one will be a little detailed. So again, I am repeating, this is for stressed MSME only, NPA MSMEs only. So do you have any doubt, guys? If you have any doubt or clarification, please ask me, so that I can help you. Otherwise, we'll proceed to the next scheme. I hope this is not overdose. Don't worry, but this will help you. So can you just let me know, shall we proceed? Just type P, or if you have any questions, Purushottam, Roshan, Anil. Yeah. Interest rate. See, again, as I said, interest rate here is purely, as I told, that it is decided by the RBI. Okay. So RBI has to, as per their norm, give the interest rate. Generally, it will be between the range of 9 to 14% to the best of my knowledge, unless they change it. Okay, Roshan, thanks. So we'll proceed. Okay. So now, friends, this is another scheme. Before going to 3 lakh crore scheme, I don't want to go in detail. I just tell 1 minute for this. Yeah, thank you, Adiga. So here what they are saying is that, look, there will be an equity scheme also which the government is going to give, which is around 50,000 crore. That means what? The government is going to pump up equity in the specific viable MSME. Now I'll give just a background to this. Please note, I'm following up and what Mr. Nitin Gadkari is telling in detail. What I understand is that, they are looking out for some good MSME, and the government will pump up equity in them subject to criteria of 15%, something like that. And then the government, what they'll do is they're also planning to take them to listing in stock exchange. So what I'm telling you, friends, that as far as this equity infusion scheme is there, which is, to the best of my knowledge, not yet notified now, is purely an equity scheme which the government wants to encourage, you can compare them with a PE fund or whatever you call venture capital guys. Okay, so venture capital guys, what they do, so that's something like which government is planning to do. Again, it's a national stage. As I said, I am following up them step by step. I'll keep you updated and I'll do a separate video for that. Okay, so fine. So this is something which you need to evaluate. Okay, now let me get into other some small points, and then I'll explain you about the 3 lakh crore scheme. Okay, now the government has amended a lot of RERA whatever clauses, where I don't want to go in detail, please. They have extended your time for filing the quarterly return. Number two, they have given you time for paying your taxes with interest in some cases and without interest. Third, please note the project completion time has been extended. Fourth, the very important point of force majeure they've introduced in the RERA law. This is very important. Now, what do you mean by force majeure? Please note, please consult your advocates also, but at a macro level, I'll explain you. Force majeure is basically one where, I'm sorry, where, because, okay, if you are required to do some performance in a contract, and because of certain reason you are not able to do that, will not put you in a penal position. That means you will say that, look, because of COVID, I couldn't complete the building in some time, in the scheduled time, or I couldn't make you payment or whatever other thing, but it has to be genuine. Again, this is subject to legal interpretation. I'm just giving a macro level. Force majeure is a clause which is incorporated in the RERA law and also certain other agreements which I have told businesses to incorporate, where if your performance is affected because of COVID or otherwise, then especially here it is because of COVID, then in that case, you can tell the person to whom you have told I'll perform, you can tell because of this is a force majeure and I couldn't perform, therefore you excuse my performance. So let's say you needed to complete a building in certain time and you couldn't complete. Definitely under RERA, you can take a shelter and tell them, look, under the RERA law, the government has said that this is directly coming under the force majeure clause. But again, you should be registered under RERA. As far as using this force majeure, I would suggest to all entrepreneurs that you need to please ensure that you directly talk to your advocates, your consultants, and include this force majeure if it is not there. I have suggested a lot of people to defer their rent with their owner. Again, don't take me wrong. It's again a commercial decision that how you want to use the this one, what do you call force majeure clause. Okay. Now, as I said in the RERA, I don't want to go in detail. The government has extended the time for filing your returns, paying off your certain fees, your completion certificate, and also the important point is in respect of giving the force majeure clause. Okay. Now, what are the other schemes which the government has given? Please note, just yesterday or day before yesterday, I was seeing money control somewhere. The government is also going to pump up 30,000 crore worth of money in NBFC, HFCs, and MFIs. Okay, what are these? These are all, as you know, National Bank for Financial Reconstruction, housing finance companies, and all that. And the government is going to give them fund. Why? Because today I'll tell you the banking sector is totally dried up. Now, to give you more insight on this, just 1 minute I'll take. As per me, and even RBI Raghuraman governor, who was ex-governor, sorry, ex-RBI governor, it is very clear that the market, the banks are not in a very good position, and I expect the banks to crash. So I may be wrong, don't mistake me. I'm just telling you that, one of the reasons which worldwide there is a little bit collapse in the liquidity is because of the banks not having the fund. One reason is because there is not business, and one reason is also because we're entering into a scheme where a lot of loans were not good. They're not healthy loans. You know what I'm telling. Okay. Next, there is a partial credit guarantee scheme which the government is giving through NBFCs, which is 45,000 crores. Again, as I said, I watched money control. I follow the news. These two have been to some extent notified. I think the 30,000 crore yesterday it came out and they have given a lot of details on that. Finally, this is very important, friends. 90,000 crore Discom liquidity scheme which the government is going to give. Now, what is this? Just understand at a macro level. The government is saying that for power distribution, the people, the businesses which are into power distribution, they will get loan or otherwise in the form, if they are into power distribution, the government is basically trying to ensure that, the power companies, which are especially distribution companies, they get some liquidity to run the business. Okay. Now, these are all the tax matters. I'll not go in detail, but just at a macro level, please note, the income tax returns have been deferred. Again, I'm expecting from June they'll defer to, already they have deferred to August. In some cases, GST returns are also deferred. Customs, by the way, there is 24/7 clearance. Guys, already I had covered this matter in earlier case, but I'm summarizing here. Then we'll jump to the MSME 3 lakh crore scheme. Okay. By the way, customs, there has been a lot of changes. Please note, in customs, the government has given e-clearance and a lot of shipments are coming in. I know personally 2, 3 people. Plus the MES, SES schemes have also been extended. What is MES, SES scheme? Just remember, if you're exporter of services or exporter of goods and you're claiming even duty drawback, the government has given certain relief to extend that scheme. Otherwise, they were proposing to come up with a new scheme to scrap the MES. That was what was a proposal by Piyush Goyal. But now, they have enabled that also to extend it. In fact, yesterday there was a person who had filed for 50 lakhs. Okay. Next, the other two are not so important. A company also, there are a lot of benefits which they are given. So that is through with the thing. So now, guys, I'll jump into the 3 lakh crore. So we knew under RERA what they are giving benefit, under tax law what they are giving benefit, under the 50,000 crore capital infusion scheme what the government has given benefit at a macro level. Of course, it has to be notified. You noted that at the 20,000 crore, I already explained you the policy, what all is there. And now the mother of all, why I'm telling you mother of all, as per the latest news, which I understand, 1,10,000 crores has been given under this 3 lakh crore scheme. So I'm not sure about the official figures, but what I understand from the papers a few days back is 1,10,000 crore was given through this scheme. Now, let's understand this scheme. This is very, very important and very useful for businesses. Okay. Now, what is this scheme? Look, as I said in the beginning, the government is telling that there is a liquidity issue for the businesses. So whether you are a MSME or not, this scheme will be applicable to you subject to condition. That means what? If you have a business loan, a clean business loan, whether you're MSME or not MSME, you will be eligible to borrow additional funds at the rate of at least up to 20%. What are all the 20%? How to calculate? I'll come to that separately. Okay. So first and foremost, this is eligible for any person who is having a clean business loan. Okay. Again, I'll repeat, clean business loan in February 2020. Whether or not you're MSME, it doesn't matter. Point one. Point two, even Mudra borrowers are there in this, so don't bother about this. Now, what is this scheme called? This is called as a guaranteed emergency credit scheme. So don't bother. It's an emergency credit scheme. That's why I told it. I call it as a clean loan scheme up to 3 lakh crore. Now, what is the timeline up to which they are eligible? They are eligible to take the loan from May 23rd to 31st October, or the bucket of 3 lakh crore ending, whichever is earlier. So please remember very clearly that this particular thing will be eligible up to what? Up to only 1 second. Yeah, you'll be eligible to take this loan up to 31st October only, starting from the period from May 23rd. After that, unless the government extends, they will close down the scheme. That's what I expect. But as I said, the government is saying 3 lakh crore exhausting of the bucket or 31st October, whichever is earlier. Okay. Now, who is eligible? This is what is the criteria. Okay. As on February 29, 2020, you should have a turnover of up to 100 crore, and you should have a business loan up to 25 crores. So again, I'll repeat, this is an and condition. If you're having a turnover of up to 100 crores and a loan of up to 25 crores, only then you are eligible. And this is as on February 29, 2020. So you need to take out your bank statement wherever you are a business. Again, I'm repeating, it doesn't matter whether you're MSME or non-MSME. Every business who is having a business loan, please understand, people are coming and asking me, Sachin, I have personal loan, am I eligible? No, there is a specific clause which says that it should be categorized as a business loan only. Okay, so coming back to this, as on 29 February 2020, if you have a loan up to 25 crores outstanding and you have a turnover of up to 100 crores, only then you are eligible for the loan. Now, turnover of up to 100 crores means what? That is basically obviously up to last year. Okay. Now, what is the amount which you are eligible? This is very simple. A lot of people get confused. I don't want you to get confused. Okay. Actually, the actual amount which you are eligible is 20% of your Einstein. 1 minute. 20% of your, just a minute. Yeah. As on 29 February, you need to see that 20% of your outstanding loan or 5 crores, whichever is least. Again, I'll repeat, the government is saying only people who have loan up to 25 crores, they are eligible as on 29 February. Then how much are you eligible to borrow? You are eligible to borrow 20% of the outstanding loan as on 29 February or 5 crores, whichever is least. So in simple words, understand, you are not going to get a loan more than 5 crores. Very simple. Again, I'll repeat, whoever is the person who is having business loan, you will not get additional loan, which is capped at 20% of your outstanding more than 5 crore. So the government is only extending you, say, loan up to 5 crore maximum only. Okay, that's it. Now, who are all eligible to give the loan? This is very important, guys, because people again are confused. Please note, additional working capital if you're taking, then it is given by banks and financial institutions. But if you're taking a term loan, then it is given by NBFCs. Now you may say that, Sachin, why is this difference? This is as per the RBI norms. I don't know, it is as per the scheme. So again, I'll repeat, if you are taking a working capital loan or CCOD, whatever you can call, then it will be given only by banks and financial institutions. But on the other hand, if you are taking a term loan, then NBFC is going to give the loan. Please note, this loan is 100% guaranteed under the scheme, whatever you called emergency credit scheme. That means what? Touchwood, don't quote me. If there is any default, then the scheme will take care of repaying the loan. Obviously, they will, come for recovery and all that. But you have to understand that specifically this is based on the criteria that after the recovery from you, if they're not eligible to take anything, or rather not able to take anything, then only they'll go. Finally, there is a moratorium period. What is the period for this? You remember that the NPA loan was for 4 years. This particular loan is up to, NPA loan was, up to 10 years, with 7 years certain criteria to repay and all that. I don't want to get into that. This loan is valid only for 4 years. Again, I'll repeat, this loan period is for 4 years. That means what they're telling, in the first year, you are required 1 minute, moratorium period of 1 year. Yeah. In the first year, you pay only the interest. Again, I'll repeat, this loan is for 4 years. Number 2, you are required to pay in the first year only the interest. Number 3, from the third year, EMI 36 installments will start. So bottom line, what you need to understand. Yeah, Anil, yeah, I know. I'll explain you. Sorry, this 50, 60 guys in the separate system are getting confused. I'll explain you as per this notification. Sorry. There's another system which is connected. They have a doubt that, some people, whether it is automatic or non-automatic. I'll explain you on that. So guys, this is, by the way, an automatic loan. Again, I'll repeat, this is an automatic loan. What do you mean by automatic loan? Automatic loan means the bank will immediately contact you and send a mail or call, whatever, telling Mr. Sachin or Mr. X, you are eligible for this loan. So it is an automatic pre-approved loan. Unlike the NPL loan where, you needed to see the criteria, you need to go to the bank, and obviously you need to follow up. Here it is an automatic approval. So if you have a good healthy loan as on February 29, blah, 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 whatever I told you the condition, the bank will automatically give loan. And in fact, I'll tell you, there is one gentleman whom I know automatically got 50,000-80,000 in his account because he had maintained a good loan. So bottom line, this is a 4-period loan. First year interest only you have to pay, balance in 36 installments. Okay, now what is the interest rate? I had told you that interest rate here is purely 9.25% if you're taking a what? If you're taking a working capital or ODCC loan, whatever you call. But if you're taking a term loan, then it is 14%. Again, I'll repeat, depending upon the type of loan which you're going to take, 9.25% will be eligible if you're taking the working capital or ODCC loan, which is purely from banks and financial institutions. But if you take the loan from NBFCs, then it is a term loan and it is up to 14%. By the way, I want to give you a very important information here. This interest rate is up to. Okay, what do you mean by up to? This is a very important clause in finance. Up to means this is a maximum limit. Sometimes people get confused, in the shops they say discount up to 50%. We think, oh, 50% discount and we go. Up to means it's a scale from 0 to 50%. He may give you the discount. So here it is from, don't mistake me, 0 I'm using. Here maximum interest rate is 9.25. That means you have to negotiate and take care with the banks. Okay. Now, there are certain other criteria. Don't bother about this, computation. Bottom line, what I'm telling you is your turnover should be up to 100 crores, and your amount of loan which they are going to give will not be more than what? Will not be more than 5 crores which you are eligible. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, so here this is the bucket which I told you. So don't bother. Again, I'm repeating, 5 crores is the maximum loan which will be eligible. Now there are certain small things which I want to just explain you. Don't bother. Please note, the people who want to take this loan under the MSME category, they should be SMA 1, SMA 0, whatever it is, that criteria they'll have to evaluate. Further, one most important thing is that, this should be GST registered. If it is not, then you need to tell that why you are not GST registered. Yeah, Anil, I know. Yeah, some people are asking GST matter. You tell them that you are not required to register. You can give a CA certificate also from your CA. As I said, loan will not be provided in personal capacity. It is purely provided as a business loan only. Okay. Next, all this I've explained. Oh, okay. By the way, guys, sorry, I forgot. I missed one point. This is a non-collateral loan, by the way. Okay. So don't ask me how, when, where, what. As per the scheme, what I've understood and what I've read, this is a non-collateral loan scheme. Okay. Now, one more thing. Don't bother about the content. One more thing. I'm just looking at the red content which is there. One more thing. Please note that if you have multiple business loans, then the law is, that is the scheme is saying you can club all the loan and see whether it is exceeding 25 crores. Also, if there are multiple loans and they are below 25 crores as of February 29, don't bother. You can take individually from each bank the business loan, or you have to take an NOC and club, and you can take one loan from one bank. Okay. So again, I'm repeating that even if you have multiple business loan, the criteria of bucket of 25 crore will apply as on February 29, 2020. Further, you need to check with the bank that, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to club all the loans and take one, or you want to have different loans. So that's fine. You have to go through a NOC formality and complete that. One more important thing which I've told you, I forgot to tell you, is that there is a credit bureau. Please note the credit bureau is going to see and evaluate your CIBIL and all that. So don't mistake me. I'm using the word. Be very clean with the bank when you're approaching this loan. Don't mistake me. If it's rejected, it's rejected. Sorry, I said that it's automatic loan, but during the scrutiny process, after they have approved, you go and check and submit documents, etc. If there is any change in turnover, or they ask you some projections, etc., please note very clearly, I'm telling you, you need to be very open, because the credit bureau will check all the details, which is like similar, CIBIL. Here again, I explained to you that if there are multiple loans and all that, I don't want to go in detail. Now, other than this scheme, what are all eligible? Okay. So friends, before you proceed further, and now it's already okay. So believe me, another 10-20 minutes I'll take, 20 minutes I'll take, and then you'll open up 10-15 minutes I'll take, and then we'll open up the FAQ session. And also there is something which I need to tell about our business, and then you can let us know how we can coordinate or participate if you guys are okay. Okay. Now, any questions on the 3 lakh crore loan, guys? Because I know I went a little fast, I hope, but you understood. So I've given you the interest rate. I've told you who is eligible. I've told you what is the term. I have told you that what criteria for MSME you are required to take up. I mean, which criteria of MSME, like whatever SFA1, SFA2, those are eligible. Who is going to give loan also, I've told you. So Roshan, Adiga, any questions? Anil, yeah, Anil, that is detailed question I'll handle separately. Okay. Yeah. So guys, any questions on the 3 lakh crore so far? You can just type in the chat yes or no. Even if it is N, I'm fine. Okay, thanks guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so fine. So now we will go to the next scheme. Please note, guys, I'm going to give here only the schemes which are relevant for the business. As I said in the beginning of the session, that we help business, corporates, and individuals to generate cash flow and profit. What I do for businesses is I see what is the sector they are operating, what economic packages they can get, what subsidy packages they can get, what tax packages they can get, or what tax concession they can get. Then I look at what industrial segment they are, how we can benefit. Okay, so economic, finance, what I can say, fiscal packages, I look into each industry and then I advise. Okay, now let's get into the next specific thing. Just a minute, sorry. Yeah. Okay. As I said, the 50 people are here. Anil, we'll also be having a session after this. So don't worry, for the coaching clients, it's separate. Yeah. I'll do that. I know you have a lot of doubts. 15 crores. Yeah, we'll cover that. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now, the next scheme also which the government has done is through Atmanirbhar 4 plan. Yeah, 1 minute. I'm sorry. Adiga has a loan. I'm sorry. Sorry, question. Fine. I have already availed this loan as you mentioned. Oh, okay. So this 3 lakh crore loan you availed. Okay, good. So Adiga, any new thing which I have missed here? I mean, maybe, I don't know. Actually, there may be some 1 or 2 points. Any point which is relevant here which I have missed, you can please type it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm okay for that. Okay. So let's go for that. Okay, thank you. I'm happy that everything is covered. Okay. Now the next point is, guys, is Atmanirbhar plan 4. Again, I don't want to go in detail. Please note that what the government is going to do here. Again, at macro level, I'm going to tell you guys is that the government is specifically told that they are going to give certain land banks for the industries. I hope they implement. Don't mistake me, because promises are made, but I would expect that these things are done. So what the government is specifically told that they will be giving industrial bank land so that the businesses can float industries or otherwise. Okay, there is also going to be certain policies and investment opportunities in coal mining sector. Please note, I'm not going in detail because some of the schemes are getting announced here, some of are in pipeline. For example, I understand something they have done in the semiconductor policy they have introduced. So like that, I'll cover that in a separate sector. Okay, so let's come back to this. So in mining sector, there are a lot of opportunities. Also, the government has opened up minerals. If you see the coal blocks and all that, I don't want to go in detail. Bottom line, in the mineral sector, the government is opening up opportunities. In the mining sector, defense production, obviously with the confusion and tension which is going on, Next, airport authority. This is very important, guys. Please note, future the airports, obviously I know with COVID it is dead down, but they are going to develop public-private partnership for airports, which is definitely going to happen. Now, this is one of the core takeaway in the session. I'll tell you that the government is planning to make a hub, which is aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul. Now, you may tell, what is this jargon? Very simple. The government is going to open up international airport garage. Okay, let me put it in that way. Okay, as a layman. So they are going to put up a garage for all the airports to come get them serviced, get their maintenance, etc. done. This will bring in a lot of FDI, a lot of money, a lot of employment, a lot of economic activity to India. Okay, so this is something which which I think is to be watched out. Obviously, Bangalore may be one of them because of the Bangalore, and Mumbai may be one of them because of the service and business subsector. Okay, so these things I'll cover separately. As you know, there are a lot of my videos. I'll be doing them separately. Time being, you can understand the government is planning sector in this investment and business participation in this also. Then there is atomic energy reform. Sorry, as I said, coal and other things, you can see that it will be covered over a period of time. Private participation in space is also being pushed because of Chandrayaan and otherwise. As I said, this is all separate core business packages. We will cover that separately, meaning in the other session. And there is social infrastructure push also. Just a second. Please note, just recently we saw Pichai and Apple announcing some huge investments in India. In fact, I feel Bangalore, they'll be opening up, or rather they've already done that. In Bangalore, I think the Apple manufacturing company will come out. It's already there, but I think they are planning to do it in a big way. Okay. Now, there are other things I don't want to go in detail. Please note, the government is doing everything for ease of doing in business. Okay. Now, till now we have covered all the packages. As I said, MSME only I was focusing. Please note, these are all based on the latest changes here. Still, the government has introduced a lot of changes. To be frank, whatever is possible in the 90 minutes time only I have covered here. Now, let us get into that, what you can do. I'm giving a free takeaway for you guys as a businessman or even otherwise, so that you can implement in your business or you can advise your clients. Now, what is that one business idea which I am telling you guys is that, you guys can, as a businessman, review all your budget forecast. Now, some of you may know this. You will tell, Sachin, what is new? I'm going to give a very beautiful principle to you as a free gift because you have attended this session. Please note, one of the things which you need to do as a businessman or entrepreneur or even as an advisor is you need to see that every business needs to revamp their budget forecast and be very realistic in the next future thing. So for example, your sales margins, your costs, your investment project in capital, etc., all that has to be seen. So what do you need to do? You need to revise your revenue, what is existing, what is new, and what you can tap in international market. So this I'm giving as a gift because I want to explain you that how you can generate your cash flow and profit through 5 methods. One of the methods I'm going to share. So here what I'm trying to tell you is, people will tell, okay, I know to review budget forecast. What is great in that? That's not the thing. Here what I'm telling you is you need to evaluate what new streams of product or services you can provide. So I'll give an example. For a chemical company, I've told that you guys can take the license for sanitizer and manufacture 3 lakh rupees, turnover they already achieved. Okay. Other than this, you need to explore national and international markets, online and offline. Now, you may say there is an issue of China and other things. Please note, online market is going in big way. Today, be it real estate or any business, again, I'll repeat, be it real estate or any business, until and unless you do not have an online social media marketing presence, you are not going to survive. So you need to explore your goods and services selling both today in local and domestic, local and international market. Next, capital projects, I would ask you to defer. I'm giving you a simple formula, and you'll also get a sheet from me where, what I'm telling is each expense you need to go line by line and you follow this principle. What is the principle? You delete the expenditure, or you defer the expenditure, or you divert the expenditure, or you incur the expenditure, or you invest. So I'll give an example. I have an Excel sheet that I'll explain you, but no time being considering time, just understand. After you go through all your budget and forecast, what you need to do is sit with the team and understand what expenses can be or investments can be deleted. That means you will not make here. What are to be deferred, which can be deferred, which are important but you defer, which can be diverted. I'll give an example. Instead of the operational guy using the money, I have told him to do a marketing so that they'll get good money in marketing. They'll get more clients. Then only after you go through the process of delete or defer or divert or incur, finally, if you are clear that no, this expenditure I don't want to incur now also, you can invest in some capex. So this is what you can plan as a capital. It may be a existing capital or plant and machinery or blah, 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 whatever. Okay. And you also need to follow the cost, ROI and cash flow approach. That means until and unless the capex project which you're doing now is not going to give you ROI or cost or cash flow, then you are not required to do the project. In other words, I'm telling you, with the COVID situation, you need to plan your capital project also. Now, finally, as I said, the DDDDII principle which I have given, and believe me, people have saved lakhs together. You need to see in your sales, in your marketing, in your operations, in your R&D, in your finance, and in your HR, what all you can delete expenses or defer or divert or incur. And then finally, if you don't want to do anything, only then you invest. Invest means you invest in certain whatever businesses which is required for you. Okay, so this is one of the secrets I'm giving. So for example, sales, what can you do? You need to automate sales through a web version, or otherwise you need to install new software, call for the customers, so that you save cost on the people who are calling. Transport cost, you can explore alternatives. Again, it's up to you. I'm not telling you need to do this. Marketing, please not only incur those marketing expenditures which are relevant for generating money for you, otherwise there is no use. Also, there are a lot of online tools which you can use. For example, there is Get Response. There are so many other tools which you can use to get in touch with the customers. Operation automation, obviously you can see what system process people you can improve so as to ensure that you save the cost and improve the reduce the cost of production of your product or service. R&D, again I'm telling, R&D has to be done only for relevant segments. You can look at what you can do new licenses and new products which you can develop. Finance, again I'm telling you, subject to liquidity, you can prepay the loan. Outsource accounting or certain other services which are required for you. You need to automate a lot of things like documentation, digital e-invoices there. So many things are there. So I would like you to make and go into digital mode in finance. Documentation also you can reduce. I don't want you guys to create unnecessary documentation. You can talk to your CA advocate and all that. Some of the aspects you can defer or take a time that when you want to do. Finally, in HR, subject to, again, see, all this is subject to your business things. Is you can stop hiring in HR, new resources you can outsource to some extent depending upon your requirement. Then you can go with leave without pay policy. I know in COVID people are just going on home and working from home. So you can say that you take a leave, without pay. So there is no leave encashment for that year, at least for that purpose. Or you can say you can go on leave and that, we will give whatever required salary or whatever, that is up to you. Then there are certain travels and gift costs and all that which can be removed. Now, bottom line, what I'm telling you guys, in your sales marketing operation function, you have to follow this chart as to what is to be reduced, what is to be deferred, what is to be deleted, deferred, what is to be diverted, what you can incur, and what you can finally invest. Okay. Now, this is one sample which I've given you. I told you that, I'll show you one sample. So just for example, this is very important. So just give me 1 minute. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So can you see the screen, guys? Just type yes. Just type yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. Just a minute. So when I'm opening this sheet, you can just hold on 1 minute. It's opening. Okay. So what I'm telling you guys is here, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an individual, as I said, we help individual businesses and also to generate cash flow, net worth and profit. As I said, I don't focus on any other thing. My only focus is how can the business generate cash flow and profit. So I'll just give one example. What we did is for a real estate builder and also for a person manufacturer in Davangere who had different multiple businesses. They didn't have a proper MIS tool where what is the segment wise revenue, segment wise cost. So for example, here you can see the Excel sheet. What I'm telling you is you need to check that each of the expense. So I'll give an example. Each of this expense. Let's take a simple example, which will be easy for you. Okay. Let us take, for example, security services. Okay. Everybody has security. So you need to decide that security services will I incur or will you, okay, let's go back to this. Okay. So let's take this. 1 minute, where are security services? Okay, let's take equipment rental. Now your question should be as a factory whether you want to rent that equipment. So you'll say no, I'll delete. Then I don't want to delete. Then you want to defer. Yes. So when do you want to defer? Say after 6 months, you can take a call. Or you will say no, I want to divert. So where do you want to divert? I want to divert this to, let us say, repairs and maintenance, something like that. So you will not delete, you will not this thing, but you will what? You will divert that expenses to some other thing. Finally, if this is not possible and you feel no, Sachin, it is very important, then only you will incur this. And if you fail the test, when you do, that means when you don't want to do in either case, then what you do is you just tell, okay, I'll invest this in certain plant and machinery or otherwise. Okay. So this is a simple example. I hope this is useful to you. Can you just tell me, was this helpful to you? Just tell me if this was helpful to you, then we can continue. Over guys, another 10 minutes and then we'll do. Was this helpful? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So what I'm telling now is people are telling no, I know budget and what do you call forecast, what is there to discuss, Sachin? I am telling you, I had people 1 week discuss their budget forecast for 100 crore company and then they could basically what do you call reduce the cost. Now this is another example. Look, this business, how it was making its report. You can see before the entity was making report like this, saw sales, cost, margin, etc. But then after that, what I did, we did it in terms of the project wise, and then we told him also region wise. Okay. So what I'm trying to give message here is that in all your field, you need to delete whatever, defer, blah, 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 the expense, and don't worry, I will be giving this gift as that sheet will come to you and you can use that sheet for your business purpose. Okay. Also, we help them to set up MIS and costing and all that standard costing so that it is helpful for the business to make decision. So what I'm telling you today in your sales, marketing, operating, apart from operations, etc., apart from looking at all the thing, the most important point here is leadership. So what I'm trying to tell you is in today's world on COVID, this L is very, very important. This sales, marketing, operation, R&D, supply chain and HR, this all can be taken care. That means you can run. So here I have given you a simple chart as to what we do. So what we help for businesses is that, we help businesses, which is in terms of marketing, sales, operation, supply chain. We help you to develop a sales, accounting, investment and leadership platform. Now you may say that why is leadership required? Please note the entire orchestra is designed by the leader. So if the leader is not working on himself and not able to get educated and take the organization to a higher level, none of these functions will work. Okay. So now I'll come directly to the point. So what does Collab do? As I said, we train, coach and consult people and businesses. As I said, we have manufacturing places where we have consulted. Here in Business Accelerator program, which is designed on the previous thing, we do something called as BAP, that is Business Accelerator program. So here we do leadership and training, that is team building, sales and marketing, accounting controls and investment. Now you may say, what is this accounting control? Please note, I'm not talking about the traditional accounting. That is the least important for me. What is important is the management getting dashboard? Is the management setting up system process people for understanding the information? Is the management giving financial literacy to the sales operation, whatever the function? Because if they know that what is the margins on the product, what is the requirement for an expense, what is how and where we need to save costs and income and increase income, those things is what we are looking at. And controls, We will put in internal control processes where every expenditure which is incurred or every investment which is made is focused and seen through a proper vetting. Otherwise, there is no use. Then sales and marketing. Please note, as I said in the beginning, I've been trained for sales and marketing from my international national gurus, and we have a lot of templates and testing templates which you can be used for the purpose of increasing your sales and marketing results. Leadership and team building is very important. Unless there is a team, you will not be able to survive. Finally, investment and resources. What we are looking at it is that how operational efficiency can be achieved in your business. I'll give an example. One of the rice mill traders whom we were working, he was actually following a wrong business model of labor charges. We helped them to make the labor charges, convert the labor charges business model into manufacturing model. Okay. Now, what do you mean by ABAP? This is another course which we give. When we say Advanced Business Accelerator Program, please note, I told you that there are 5 ways to increase your cash flow and profit. I have given you already one method, and please bear in mind that method, what I gave you, if you sit 1 month or 1 week with your team, I am guaranteeing you there will be 1 or 2 secrets or 1 or 2, what I can say, tax saving measures which will come out. Sorry, cash generating measures, it will come out. I'll give one hint. I think some of you are CS, so you'll know. One thing which I've always asked is, I sit with each of their functional teams and ask which expenses you can defer, you can delete, or how you can increase cash flow and profit. So there are certain processes which we need to follow in this 5 ways of increasing your cash flow and method. Cash flow and profit method. We help you to teach. We help you to see what are the 5 mechanisms to how you can increase your cash flow or profit. And believe me, we sit 1-to-1 with you and then take it forward for the discussion. Okay. Next, business accelerator program. I already told you back in the previous slide, which is purely for the purpose of getting into the this thing, what do you call, understanding what investment, sales, leadership you need to do. Also, we'll have a weekly call with each of the business people. The idea here is very simple, that we need to sit as a team and understand that what goals we are planning for this week, and then take it and then scale up to the next level. Finally, we have a lot of tools and techniques. Please note, guys, today I'm telling you Shastra and Astra, both we have. You need to evaluate what technology you're using, what software you're using, let's say, for example, in sales marketing tools are you using, and also for increasing your productivity. For example, today work from home is given. So we feel that a lot of online tools and offline tools are available in terms of template, in terms of software, or in terms of otherwise, which can be used to enhance your productivity. So that will also be part of this Advanced Business Accelerator program. Okay. Now, finally, as I said, this is my team. I told you in the beginning, again, I'll repeat, Jay is my team with whom we are handling a 800 crore waste management project in Chennai. Please note, Chennai, we have got, that is my team has got a contract where, we are disposing and managing the waste for Chennai specific municipal, where we are collecting the waste for them and then we are processing. Mr. Jay, who's a mechanical engineer, he's an expert in waste management process. He's part of Collab, where I'm also part. Please note, Jay is looking after the energy segment. Today, as we talk, is in Chennai. As I told you in the beginning, he had a fishery seafood distribution business. And in Collab, once we associated, he sold that business to Big Basket. I don't want to get into the details. You can understand he's never worked anywhere. He's always an entrepreneur. Okay. Next, I don't want to go in detail. Our vision and mission is simple. We want to generate cash flow and profit for the business. No other discussion, no other gang that, we want to build team. We want to teach you soft skill, hard skill. I'm not telling in a different way. I'm telling in a practical way. So these are the certifications which we have. As I said, I'm an NLP practitioner. I'm doing my CFP, Chartered Financial Planning, plus Chartered Wealth Management, plus I've got international and national certificates. I cannot name them because of India things. These are all the cases where, we have got trained and we have a dedicated team. Finally, this is why we prefer Collab, because of the experience we have. As I said, we work with businesses, we do business, and for past 18 years, my training, international training experience, the CA experience, and finally the CFP and Chartered Wealth Management experience we bring in on the table. Quality coaches and trainers we have to train and help your businesses. There are a lot of offline, online tools which we have. As I said, we use it. And finally, we work in a system. Look, this is something which you can take away from the session. If nothing, you can take away. Do not do work, create systems every day. What do you mean by that? I do not believe in doing work like you need to create systems every day, SOPs every day, so that the system will take care of the business and your regular processes. Now, what I'm telling guys is only for today purpose. Please don't think I'm selling. Obviously, it's a fact because there are so many things which you have to do. But otherwise, how was the session? You got a lot
It
of.
is very good, sir. Very good. Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah.
And when is the expected that equity infusion?
One minute, sir. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah.
Equity infusion to small scale industries actually. That is
See, to be very, I'll answer. So, to be very honest, Roshan, what is happening, I'll tell you is, to the best of my knowledge, it has not yet been notified. Okay.
okay. Okay.
But definitely, we need to evaluate and see how this is going to go forward. In sense,
Okay.
I'll just tell you one internal news. Last week, we work with also the MSME department. Okay. So last week, what they have told very clearly is that they are revamping this scheme. In fact, there was one person whom we know in the department well. So he said that once the criteria is out, just a minute. Yeah. Okay. I was just doing some technical hitch was there. Yeah. So what he said very clearly is that to the best of my knowledge, it is not yet come, but we'll keep you posted on that. Once that equity infusions come, which are very good, they are going to come out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Roshan, any other point, whether any doubts, technical, non-technical?
No,
By the way,
no,
guys, this is my office mobile number, which will be with my Akshay assistant.
Numbers, sir, please.
Yeah, I'm giving. But please note, I don't want it to be used as a, what I'm telling. Okay, it should be a very specific. Actually, this will lie with my assistant only all the time, because we will be adding you guys in a club called Wealth Sutra Club. As I said, Wealth Sutra is a brand name which we have done, and we will be coming up with the YouTube channel there also, where we'll be educating financial literacy. Please note, my focus, and again I'm repeating, my focus is not here to sell any physical product like insurance and all that. We are purely into training, coaching, and consulting the businesses and individuals to help to build financial wealth. We do not sell any insurance, any other product. Obviously, if you want, we can refer to you. Okay. 1 minute. There is a small difference. Yeah, Akshay, correct number. You tell me. Okay, sorry. The number is 9739 666 220. Okay, please ignore the earlier number. So, guys, yeah, Naveen is joined now. I think very late. No problem. Yeah. So, any other point, Roshan? So, Roshan, you practice right in Bangalore, or how is it?
Yes, sir. Just now practice started, sir. 6 months.
Oh, Acha, you are a new person. Okay. Then I think it's good thing for you, because you got to know a lot of things. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you need to attend a lot of webinars, especially, I don't know, in LinkedIn, how many people are actually giving. I'm not trying to boast, such type of things which you can use in practice actually.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Naveen. Okay, Naveen has joined now. I'm not sure whether he can. Yeah. Okay. Any other thing, guys? Here, others, we will. As I said, the open forum is there. One more thing, please remember, my YouTube address is, just note down. Actually, generally there is my assistant, but today, so my YouTube, this thing is CA Sachin Guru. You can please subscribe. You will get a lot of updates. In fact, 1 or 2 videos I will be coming up in next 2-3 days, which is where I have updated budget, then update schemes, and other things. As I said, my focus is on the fiscal and stimulus packages, and also the other schemes which you can be used for the businesses, and also my training certifications which can be used, so to scale business. I don't talk any other thing except for helping you to build cash flow, net worth, and profit as a business. There's also a business basics, back to business basic webinar which I conducted. There you start with definition of business. So that's something which was very important during COVID. So any other comments, any other inputs, guys? Otherwise, we are good to go. Yeah, Naveen, I allow you to talk. I know that you joined late. That's fine. But that's something which we can evaluate. So guys, we will be sending you an Excel sheet, the budget template. You can use it for your business. Further, regularly subscribe and come to my webinar, because now I'm guaranteeing you every webinar there will be some new takeaway which you will get it. Okay. So any other input, guys? Otherwise, I'm okay, because I need to start off one more my session at 11:30. At least 10 minutes break I need to take for that. Because Saturdays it's back-to-back webinars, almost 10 to 14 webinars. So it keeps going, consulting, etc. Yeah. Thank you, guys. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
yeah, the feedback, what I'll do is you can give it on the phone, because now my team is saying, okay, it's already late here, we need to join. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys. Please note down the mobile number. As I said, you send a call, because that will be with my team Akshay, because we have created a hub and that will be used with everybody. Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Have best of luck. I wish for you and your family a safe COVID. Okay, don't worry, have a great mindset. Thank you very much. Thank you.